I'm James Demer, the audio nomad. Today we're going to review the Clavelon Delta single dynamic driver IEM. Let's get into it. Clavelon Delta is pretty interesting aesthetically because it uses this sort of, it's like a retro futuristic, they call it cyberpunk design. The box grabs you right away. It's this silvery, very industrial looking design with line art and a little kind of menacing looking head. It says 98%. I'm not sure what that means. And then you get some information about the IEM on the back. Very little information. Sensitivity, impedance, total harmonic distortion, frequency response, all pretty standard stuff. It says high performance dynamic driver. I'm not sure what it is. It does say that it's aircraft grade aluminum. So I'm assuming that's the shell is aircraft grade aluminum with a high purity OFC copper cable. Doesn't say copper, but OFC, oxygen free copper. And then a cyberpunk style design. I like the design. I'm not a huge fan of the waifu thing that's popular, or the sort of florally, swirly designs that a lot of IEMs seem to have these days. It's just not my style. I do like the sort of retro futuristic look, maybe a little diesel punk, a little bit cyberpunk. It has a very industrial feel. The shells are aluminum and they have a kind of it's like, when you take a deck of cards and you rotate the top bunch of cards and they sort of fan out. Well, that's what these shells do on the top. It's kind of interesting. And then the faceplate is aluminum with a nice convex surface, and the logo looks like it's printed on the shell itself. It's sort of a matte finish. The whole thing is a nice presentation. The cable is fairly robust. I didn't notice a lot of microphonics wearing it. The accents are a matte gunmetal color with a gold tip. So presentation wise, I'd say they definitely have achieved the cyberpunk futuristic look that they're going for. It feels a little gimmicky to me, like they're trying too hard in terms of getting the look just right, and that bothers me a little bit. I also think that this is a $99 IEM, and frankly, I think we're paying a lot for the package design, the design aesthetics, and maybe a good build quality. But in terms of sound, they sound okay to me. If you compare the graphs of the Clavelon Delta to the Tripowin Vivace, you'll notice that they are quite similar. The difference is this is a $29 IEM and this is a $99 IEM. Granted, you get a little bit fancier packaging, maybe a slightly nicer cable, although that's arguable, and an aluminum shell versus a plastic shell. I do know that in the Tripowin Vivace, you get Mylar dynamic driver that's titanium coated, and I'm not sure what the driver is in the Clavelon Delta because it doesn't say on the package. In terms of the way they sound, I prefer the Tripowin Vivace to the sound of the Clavelon Delta, even though they graph the same, and this is purely subjective. But I find that the Tripowin has a little bit more space, a little bit more soundstage. It feels like the decay is faster on the Tripowin, so the bass doesn't feel quite as tubby or thumpy. I think the mids and the highs have a little more separation on the Tripowin than they do on the Clavelon Delta. That said, I find the Clavelon Delta is fine. It's perfectly acceptable, and if you're really into the aesthetic and you want to have a better build quality and something that's maybe not so florally or flowery or scrolly or waifu-y, it's a great choice. I think $99 is on the high side for what you get with the Clavelon Delta. However, it's not a bad set and it's not a weird tuning. It's just not special enough to be worth $100 in my book. I'd save your money and get something a little nicer, like maybe the Audio Hype 4 or spend a little less money and get something like the Tripowin Vivace, which sounds better in my opinion for $70 less. If you have any questions or comments about the Clavelon Delta or about IEM styling in general, I'd love to know what you think and what you are attracted to and maybe repelled by in terms of aesthetics and sound quality. Retrofuturism versus waifu, or aluminum shells versus acrylic shells. I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave them in the comments below, and thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by Linsoul.com. Linsoul sells IEMs, headphones, amplifiers, digital to analog converters, cables, really just about anything you could want for personal hi-fi or even home hi-fi. Their prices are great, the quality is exceptional, and their customer service is really second to none. Check them out in the link below.